Hey guys, it's October 19th, 2020, and I just want to do a quick check-in video with some pretty exciting news. So I've been working on, for a little over 5 months now, I've been working on the meditations, and I've been working on manifesting two things. One of them is abundance and financial freedom, really, and the other one is going to a workshop, and I kind of count that one as worthiness. And I just wanted to do a quick recording to check in because at the beginning of this month, we were actually really struggling financially. And if you go back to some of the older videos, I'm going to link them up here, you'll see that it was down to the point that like all our credit cards were maxed out. We were counting quarters to get groceries. It was just really like down to the wire that we didn't even know, like our mortgage was 2 months behind. We both had cash advances that were maxed out. It was just like insanely like not going well at all. And in the beginning of the month, in the offset, we decided that we needed to make a difficult but responsible and adult decision, and we decided to sell our smart car. And that was really difficult for me and for my husband too, because that car, we love it. We really love that car. It means a lot to us. We have a lot of memories with it. And we just decided though, because we'd gone to my dad and asked for $1,000 to kind of get us through on some bills, and we decided, we need to do this. We don't need the car anymore. We had actually manifested another one that gets us around, and the smart car was just kind of like a convenient car, and we liked it, but we didn't have to have it. So we made that decision to sell it, and it was kind of a difficult decision because, like I said, it had a lot of sentimental value to us, but we decided it was the right thing to do. So I went out, and this is the first kind of amazing, happy story. So we decided we were going to sell the smart car, and I went out and I detailed it, I scrubbed it, and I was just like putting a brave face on. I was like, yep, we're going to sell it. This is the right thing to do. And we got it all ready. We got the ad up on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. We put it for a good deal so it would sell fast. And the morning of, when we were getting ready to launch the ads, make them go live, it occurred to me, it just kind of came to me. My mom, like about a month ago, she went through a pretty horrible car wreck with her husband, and they survived, which is, a miracle and a sign in itself, where they flipped the car, and it was just they were in a convertible, but they survived, and they walked out with, hardly any scratches. And consequentially, they need another car. She needs a car to get around town. And I remembered her mentioning that to me, and I thought, man, I wonder if mom would want this car, because it was kind of breaking my heart to have to kind of sell it to a stranger and never see it again. So I called mom that morning and I said, Mom, we're actually getting ready to sell our vehicle for a really good price, and we were wondering if you guys might be interested in buying it. And so she mentioned to her husband, my husband called, her husband, and they talked about it. And within like the hour, the car was sold to our family, to my parents. And it turns out that they actually really needed it. It's perfect for her because it's just them. It's 2 doors. They don't need, a big car. And he's been wanting an electric vehicle for a long time. It's an electric smart car. So much that he even bought like an electric batteries for a bike and made his bike electric. He's been really wanting one. And this one was super affordable for them. So it's like, it was just really interesting to us because we were getting ready to sell it. And if you've ever sold a car yourself, you got to deal with like inquiries and people haggling you and people not showing up. And like, it's just, you don't really have a lot of privacy because people are coming to see your vehicle. And I just wasn't like, I was kind of dreading going through all that. And I was dreading selling a vehicle we love to a stranger and never seeing it again. And it was just like, it worked out so perfectly. So literally within, I'd say, about an hour and a half of that conversation, we had all the money in our bank account. Like, my husband gave my stepfather the PayPal account, he paid it up, and we had all the money. We were able to pay our bills for the rest of the month. So it was just like, I don't know, it was so cool because it just all materialized like within an hour and a half. It was way easier than if we had put that on the market and had to field all the calls and have people haggling us and looking at the vehicle. And so we shipped it out the week later and they have it, and that was good. But the other part of that story that's another little miracle to me is that after they got it, the airbag light went off on the vehicle, and it was never an issue for us. And I was like, and they told us, they said, look, we're afraid that with this airbag light going off, we're not going to be able to get an inspection sticker and we can't have the vehicle. And they're like, it might be a deal breaker to the point that we have to sell it. And that broke my heart. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it got my energy a lot lower. I was just kind of like upset. I was like, I don't get it. This seems like it came from the divine. It was so perfect. It worked out so great. And they're gonna sell it. I can't believe it. It's a great deal, and I don't know why they would sell it. And I was getting upset and frustrated. And that night, they started looking around on the internet. And I talked to my dad, and then my father-in-law started looking around. They both found that it's actually a common issue with the smart car to have like a false alarm on the airbag. And so they're like, yeah, we'll look into it, kind of a last minute, effort to see if we can fix this. And the next day, I was all like stressed out, but I was like, all right, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to surrender it. If we have to buy it back and sell it ourselves, we'll do it, fine, whatever. We had shipped it all the way to West Virginia at that point too. We're going to ship it back, sell it down here. And I was just so upset because I was like, man, this is supposed to be something from the divine. It's not working out. So anyway, the next day, he texted us and he basically said, hey, crisis averted. I found, the little connection under the passenger seat. It wasn't connected properly, and I plugged it in and the airbag issue went gone. So we don't have to sell it. It is like perfectly ready for us to use. They got the title this evening. So that was just to me like another little miracle that scared me, and I definitely lowered my energy because of it, but it all worked out. It was just so beautiful to us that we get to see this car that blessed us for several years go to our family that really needs it and to bless them, and it gets to kind of stay in the family. So that's super duper cool. Another just amazing blessing that's manifested during this month is, like I said, the beginning of the month, our outlook was not good. We were slow. We had clients that owed us money. I had a client that's kind of like delayed a major payment that we were banking on. And I just have to say that my husband in his business is getting calls like left and right. I'm not kidding. Today somebody called him and like mentioned 3 different projects, and he got a call yesterday, and he's getting a call here, and he's getting a call there. So his business, he's like getting like new jobs like every single day. I don't think I've ever seen him this busy. So he's doing really, really well in his business. So I think that's kind of like a second little manifestation. He's just doing great. And then the third one is when I opened my business, I kind of like declared that I would never ever work with my old employer because I was, unhappy with them at the time. And I actually walked out, like I gave them no notice. I was so unhappy back in 2017, 3 years ago actually. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to ever work with them, blah, blah, blah. Well, I started thinking about it. And it's kind of like the smart car idea. We were talking about ways to get more revenue. And I just like, it's almost like the idea just kind of dropped in, just sort of like outside of the normal box that I think from. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I contact them? Like, why don't I give them a shot, give them a try? Like, why? It's been 3 years that I've kind of put these walls up and I've like made these declarations and said I'll never work with them. And they've reached out to me like several times, like 3 or 4 times over the past couple of years trying to get me to work with them. And I've been like, oh, no, 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 no. And she was kind of like kicking the can. Well, I was like, it doesn't hurt. So I reached out to them. I said, hey, I'm here. I have this special certification that they need to kind of get me on projects. I said, I just got it a month ago. I want to let you know I have it. And if you need my help, I'm happy to help you. And literally within a week, not even a week, I think it was a couple days, they were like, yeah, we can use you on this one project. And they had me write a proposal for it, and I wrote the proposal, and I wrote it very cushy. I like bid it very conservatively, gave myself lots of hours, and I was like, I don't even know if they're gonna like accept this bid because it's like a pretty cushy bid. And I sent it to them, and then the next business day they wrote back and they accepted it. So like, I think that in itself is kind of like a cool sort of full circle thing that like I'm going back to working for my original, my old employer is now a client. So that's kind of cool. And it's a very, it's a decently priced project. I have to add this in here too, because after recording this video, I actually met with them and they told me that my price was too low and they wanted me to raise my price. So that was kind of insane. And then we had a lunch with a lot of people I never really got to say goodbye to, like with the way I left the job. I just kind of walked off the job, and it was just like the most healing, awesome, excellent, just morale boosting lunch. So it was pretty amazing. even my husband said today, he was like, this is working. He's like, these meditations are working. So yeah, I'm excited to report some happy news and just to, yeah, keep doing the work and I'm going to keep working on the financial abundance piece until we are totally in the clear financially, and then move on to the next thing.